Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now, towards the end of issue number 3, it actually looked like the momentum was going to swing in favor of Marty and friends. That was until it was revealed that the giant clock tower was not going to be a friend to them, but a huge obstacle in their way. How will this series all wrap up? Well, let's get on with my comic book review for the Transformers Back to the Future comic book crossover, issue number 4. As issue 4 opens, Skillz, Rodimus Prime and Bumblebee are giving it their best effort to try to make sure that Gigawatt, Marty, and crew can get to safety before getting crushed under the foot of Watchtower. And while the Doc wants to try and use force, Marty is the voice of reason. That if they can get Gigawatt's flux capacitor fixed and leave 2015 and go back to 1985, they have an opportunity to prevent all this from happening. But the Doc is going to have to work quickly because, as we can see what happens to Bumblebee, Watchtower is taking no prisoners. Now, the Doc has been able to get Gigawatt's flux capacitor up and running, but as he rejoices with Marty, this gives Watchtower the opportunity to set them in his sights. And just as Watchtower is about to exterminate the humans, Gigawatt makes a save by diving in front of the blast. And while the flux capacitor is still intact, the damage that Gigawatt has taken is extremely bad, because no matter how much Marty puts the pedal to the metal, he can't hit the needed 88 miles per hour in order to time travel. Now, the one thing I've learned is never count the Autobots out, and with Doc Brown on board, Skillz is there to lend a helping hand. And it's a good thing, because Rodimus Prime has been the next Autobot to bite the dust from the wrath of Watchtower. It seems as though the assistance of Skillz is going to work, and as Marty tells the Doc to jump in before they hit 88 miles per hour, the Doc tells him that he'll have to stay behind, and it'll be up to Marty to save history one last time. Now, Gigawatt is able to hit that 88 mile per hour mark, and just in time, because it appears that the fate of Skillz and Doc are next. Now, just because Gigawatt and Marty were able to escape the danger in 2015, that doesn't mean that they're out of the woods, because when they land in 1985, they are greeted by Decepticon Rumble, who will waste no time in greeting them the only way a Decepticon knows how to. And while Marty will try and go to bat for Gigawatt, Rumble is going to show him the meaning of shaking things up, as he's going to let nothing stand in his way of waking up Megatron. And while it won't be Marty who can do anything about it, it will actually be Biff who comes to the rescue of Marty, because he's tired of being pushed around by the Decepticons. Now, while Biff was able to slow Rumble down, he lacks enough firepower to stop the Decepticon, who will continue on with his plans to wake his buddies from their slumber. And while Biff is freaking out, Marty will tell him not to fret, because there's always more than meets the eye when it comes to these guys. And Rumble is going to find out that statement is very true, because not only have Optimus Prime and several other Autobots been woken up by Marty and Gigawatt, but they now stand in his way. And while Rumble, knowing that he's outmatched, will ask for a truce between the two sides, it won't be more than a few seconds later that this Decepticon will break it. Now, we all know the Decepticons, they thrive to control as much energon as possible, but here, Biff is going to give Rumble way more than he can handle. Now, as for Gigawatt, he truly has made all this possible, but it looks like his tank is officially out of gas. And as Marty refuses to believe that it could end like this, Optimus Prime is optimistic that if he can return the other time machine back to the Doc, things might just be able to work itself out. Now, when Marty returns back to 2015, he's going to see that not only is the Doc doing great, but so is Gigawatt and all the other Autobots, thanks to their new mechanic, Biff. And as Marty takes the time machine and returns back home to 1985, he finds his very hip parents, George and Lorraine, waiting for him. But this time, Marty is not only not in trouble, but has a brand new truck waiting for him. Now, as Marty rides off in his brand new truck, everything should be great, right? Well, not necessarily, because with a closer look at Marty's new truck, it appears that he has a robot in disguise. Now, my final score for issue number 4 of the Transformers Back to the Future comic book crossover is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. Writer Kevin Scott not only brought the series of these two iconic pop culture franchises to a fun and satisfying conclusion, but also left the door open for more stories seamless without it feeling forced. And with time travel in play, the only limitations moving forward into following up with this series will be the creator's imagination. Alright guys, well that's going to do it, the fourth and final issue in this series. Now, did you guys read the Transformers Back to the Future comic book crossover? And if you did, comment down below and tell me what you thought. And also comment down below as to what you would like to see in the future if this series continues. Alright guys, if you like comic book reviews like this and all things pop culture, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos. Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now!